Hello. In this video, I would like to talk to you about the consumer's preferences, and in particular, I want to focus on indifference curves. Um, uh, Indifference curves in general are downward sloping, and especially if we have goods that the consumer likes. So we have rice. Our typical example that we used in class was rice, and the other good was spending on all other goods. So it's basically in dollar figures. So we have suppose that in order to get indifference curves, let's assume that the consumer has a certain amount of rice R0 and a certain amount of he spends on other goods $0, right? Okay, and we tell the consumer, look, I'm going to take away some of the other income. Oh, he's going to be mad, right? Because he has the same amount of rice and less spending on other goods, so he's not going to be happy, right? But I'm going to give you a little bit rice. So I'm going to take away some income and I give you some rice. And I'm going to give you one extra unit of rice. When you tell me when do you think that you'll be indifferent between your original point and the new point? And you say, well, enough. You took away enough spending on other income. I am happy right here. Okay, so I got one more unit of rice, R1, and I am willing to sacrifice this much of the other good, call it, so I'm willing to sacrifice this much spending on the other good to get the extra unit of rice, yeah? And let's so the you can think of if I took away a lot more money, you would be very unhappy, right? If I took away less money, you would be more happy because this is the maximum you're willing to give up to make you just as happy as you were a day, right? And then I say, well, let me repeat the exercise. So I'm going to go even one more unit of rice, and you say, well, for this second unit of rice, I'm starting to, have a lot of rice, so I'm not going to give up as much as I did initially. I'm going to give up 2 units, right? So I'm going to go to C, right? And I can repeat this exercise and repeat this exercise, and what I'll find is that there's a indifference map. Combinations of the two goods, rice and spending on all other goods, such that the consumer is indifferent between them. Let's call that U0, and it's kind of convex. In other words, the more rice you have, the less you're willing to give up of the other good, which is spending on other goods. Okay, so from you can think of A to B, moving from A to B, is the maximum amount you're willing to pay, to get an extra unit of rice or an extra kilogram of rice. Okay, and from B to C is the maximum willingness to pay to get an extra unit of rice, and your maximum willingness to pay from B to C is less than your maximum willingness to pay from A to B, right? Because you already have a lot more. You have more rice every time. R1 to R2 to R3, R0 to R1 to R2, and so on and so on and so on. Eventually, you have so much rice that really you're not willing to give up. You're willing to give up a very little bit of your spending on other income to get the extra rice because you have a lot of rice to start off with. Okay, so we can get this indifference map right here. Okay, and notice that this is the maximum willingness to pay. Another term that we use is the marginal rate of substitution of rice for spending on other goods, or how much you're willing to how much are you willing to give up of other goods to get one additional unit of rice and be just as happy, is known as the marginal rate of substitution. Okay, marginal rate of substitution. How much are you willing to give up to obtain one extra kilogram of rice and be just as happy? And what you are giving up is you're giving up spending on all other goods because they have to come from somewhere. Yeah? So this is the indifference map, and the indifference curves, higher indifference curves, because we have started from a different point, give you more happiness. So this gives you more happiness, and there's indifference curves that are below the U0, call it U2, which gives you less happiness. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. You got it. So the marginal rate of substitution, just to summarize, is the slope of this indifference curve, and it falls the more rice you consume, or your maximum willingness to pay falls as you to have an extra unit of rice falls as the more rice you have. Yeah, kind of makes sense, right? Bye.